I'm Matt. This is Let's Talk Music, and I am here with Elias Soriano of Nonpoint. How are we doing this evening, sir?
Good, good. Good to see you, Matt.
Good to see you, sir. Just to touch on some things here, you guys formed in 1997 in South Florida and still rocking strong nowadays.
hmm
And got a new song out, Heartless. Um, Tell me a little bit about that.
it is the title track off of our second coming EP. On the heels of our independence. It's and on the heels of Ruthless, our first independent release,
Hmm.
and then following that one is now Heartless, and the song's about the inner thoughts and workings of the character that we introduce you to in Ruthless, which is the Tin Man.
Correct.
It's basically a reimagined character from the basic concept of Wizard of Oz, but just bringing it up to a more uh, you know uh, timely, I guess, and a more up to date kind of version.
Okay. So just a crazy fact, and I found this really interesting, is my great great uncle Jack Haley played the Tin Man in Wizard of Oz.
No way!
Yeah,
Are you serious?
swear to God, dude.
Wow!
Yeah, see,
Wow!
I didn't even know that for years. I was out in Kansas City and at my uncle's house. I was like, "What's your fascination with the Tin Man?" And he's like, "Dude, that's your great great uncle." I was like,
Wow!
"Really? Did not know that." So
That is unbelievable. Yeah, I heard a bunch of he had some serious things happen to him during the making of that movie.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He actually Jack Haley ended up with the part because the original Tin Man was allergic to the paint that they used on him, and he ended up in the hospital. Almost,
Yeah. It was lead paint.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's what he was allergic to. Guess what? We're all allergic to lead.
right. Yeah, that's why they say don't
Yeah,
eat paint chips.
yeah. Also, too, in the scene where he gets picked up and dropped by the the flying monkey. Do you
Hmm.
remember that?
Yeah,
He gets picked up and dropped by the flying monkey, or he gets lifted up by the witch something, and he gets dropped, and they came running over saying, "Oh, are you all right?" He actually like broke his back during that
hmm,
scene, and they were genuinely running up to ask if he was all right, trying to stay in character. Uh, but he hurt himself pretty bad. So that's crazy, man. I'm puts a whole new scope on this interview for me.
me too. Because when I saw that it was like a the twisted Wizard of Oz theme for your new tour, I was like, oh man, so that there's a little common ground there.
That
So
is unbelievable. Do you
speaking of,
have any stories? I mean, I hate to ask you. Do you have any stories that I might have not heard?
not really, man. I mean, like I said, it was just brought to my attention once, and I bring it up every once in a while, kind of as a conversation piece, but you know, uh, I want to
You know
say,
that movie's so endearing to me, man. I used to watch it every Thanksgiving. They would put it on regular TV every Thanksgiving on regular TV before streaming and all that stuff happened. And I love the movie, so that's great, man.
oh
That's
yeah.
great. That's
Did you happen to see where they paired up the Dark Side of the Moon with it?
Yes, I've done that. We've actually done that a couple times. it's
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. It
that's
is a
trippy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You almost feel like they sat around playing the movie and just kind of wrote stuff to it
Yeah.
because boy, it lines up uncannily close,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So how did you guys get into that, the Twisted Emerald City tour? I mean, what was the how that conversation started of like, okay, this is how we're gonna do it.
Well, it's again, it's a concept that I brought to the guys in the very beginning with Ruthless. When I was actually talking about the music video and letting them kind of all in on that. Um, and calling that character the Tin Man because he's swinging an aluminum baseball bat.
Hmm.
Um, you know, it, I did I think that we were going to be able to go this far into it. Um, I was thinking the EPs would definitely, go back to back. But this Emerald Cities tour, uh, we planned on touring with the music, but we hadn't come up with this just yet. So,
Okay.
um, you know, talking to the guys about how cool it would be to make all of our next tour buildings, put it into build kind of a city into one city and call it the Emerald City tour that we're doing. And
Right.
they loved the idea, so we ran with it.
Yeah, yeah. So you're going out with Blacktop, Mojo, and Sumo Cyco.
Cyco, yeah.
Blacktop Mojo, cool guys. I've done an interview with them. Really good.
Yeah. Way cool, way cool. We've shared the stage a few times with those boys, and it's always been super awesome and friendly. They're so laid back and great performers, man. Talk about a band that can play. So you know we extended the invite to them, and same thing with Sumo Cyco. We've done a couple of tours with those folks and had great response from the fans and a great time with them on tour. So let's put some family together on a tour, talk about it, make it really cool. Everybody's kind of into the theme and taking part. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I mean it's showing that you guys are starting March 2nd in Virginia Beach. It's like a 19-day leg, and then you're ending in Texas on the 26th.
Yep, 19 shows across about a month of traveling.
Okay. And so like any more dates after that?
Yeah, we're planning a second leg. All the spots that we didn't hit, we're talking about taking it up into Canada as well. So more dates to come. So if you're not seeing your city on this run, you're most likely going to see it on the next
Okay. Yeah. Now, so I was looking at your press release, and I kind of liked what you said about the Tin Man, where it says Ruthless introduced you to the dark reimagined Tin Man. Heartless will give you a peek inside the emptiness that drives his rusted cogs towards his target, Emerald City. So
one. Yeah,
that was a pretty cool analogy. I think that was I like that. And I checked out Ruthless, and because I mean I've been listening to you guys for years, man. I mean I've been into God so many different types of music, but I remember hearing you guys. One of the first songs that I really bit a hold of was "In the Air Tonight" when you did that for Miami Vice.
mm,
As a kid, watched Miami Vice with my parents religiously, and
yeah,
love Phil Collins. So I mean, that one was like a just awesome for me. And
yeah. Same thing. Growing up in South Florida, it was a big iconic song in the scene. So and that show was massive in South Florida. It was filmed in South Florida. So
right.
we got a lot of love and we had a lot of love for it. So it seemed like the right thing to do.
Oh yeah. Well, you guys are getting a lot of love on Heartless. I mean, when I last time I looked, you had I think like 6 or 7 thousand views in like 3 days.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's great there. I mean, and it's since we're doing like a theme here, is the next song that you guys are going to release, does that have to do with the Emerald City and the Tin Man also?
The next one is uh well, the EP just has its thing, and the tours and all that are going to be themed around the songs that we're cycling around. But each EP is basically going to hopefully be able to stand on its own. When you put them all together, that's when you get that good mesh that we're hoping that you get after we drop the third, and then we're going to know where all of our fans sit with our new releases, and then we're gonna hand them the full length. So there's those plans on the horizon, and we're gonna take this concept all the way through the EPs and then probably shift gears for the full length, I would think.
It is a it's a strategy anymore when you're dealing with music, since you don't have, the album sales and, that kind of way to get your music out there. And I've talked to a lot of bands that, they say, we're going to release a single, and then, 2 weeks later, 2 months later, we're going to release another one. And, it just, with the new way of doing it, I think it is kind of confusing. But I mean, a lot of the guys, especially, what you was just talking about, have a real grip on how to get it out there. And I mean,
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, it's it's not always up to us what happens with music, because it's still a market,
mhm,
and it's still a business,
right.
and there's uh, you know uh, there's factors that tie into everything, just putting a song out and even advertising it as you normally would advertise it. There's a million other factors that weigh into it. What I've learned, and what we focus on, is just writing music for us and for our fans, that we enjoy to play, and we enjoy to watch them, bang to, and have a good time to, and jump in
Right.
the pit, and enjoy our videos and comment and connect with the music. Um, you know, I can't be worried about who else is dropping records, or what quarter it is, or
Mhm.
if it's going to change for record sales, or if it's Spotify or Apple that I'm going after. There's so many different factors that fall into that. You just got to do your job, and write the music, and put it out there for your fans, and do the work.
Right. So you guys, Heartless was produced by Chris Collier. Is that your first time working with him, or have you guys done work with him before?
And no, it was, and well, no, this was Heartless was the second song that we did, but this was the first time that we have worked with Chris on this EP,
Hmm.
and we started with Paper Tigers, and it was such an amazing, fun time with that, that we jumped into Heartless as well with him.
Okay. Because I know, I mean, I read that he had worked on like Korn's #1 album, and that's that's pretty big.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and he's got great ideas, and a good vision. When he hears it, uh, when you hand him that song, he's able to you know tweak things without messing it up.
Okay. So with what you touched on earlier about your second release on an independent label, um, I know that you guys were with MCA at one point. Not sure about any other record companies, but I know that your new one is 360 Degree Records,
Mhm.
which is your guys's record company.
361 degrees. Yes.
361, yes, my bad.
No,
I
no.
one there. But no, so how do you like being independent, man?
It's fun. It's work, obviously, and you take on a little bit more risk, but it does allow you to be, able to make quick decisions, and seize opportunities when you feel like there's something to go after.
Hmm.
Um, so it allows us a lot of luxuries, and moving away from label loses a lot of luxuries. So it's a give or take. Right now, we've played the label game quite a bit,
Right.
and we've released music with and without labels in the past. So it wasn't something that we were too frightened of. If you look at To the Pain was basically an independent release, and that was one of our highest, uh, connecting records with our fan base, with Bullet and all those, Live and Kicking and all those songs on it.
Right.
So, um, it just goes back to, it really boils down to the music.
So are you aware that there's a group that's called Everything Nonpoint?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all things, all
All
things
things
Nonpoint.
Nonpoint. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm actually a member of that. So
Yes, 361 degrees, all things Nonpoint.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I mean, how does that make you guys feel to have such a great following and such dedicated fans?
it feels good. You know, we're always trying to think of new ways to connect with them, and I think the VIP that we're doing on this tour is one real, great way to prove that, we really love the connection that we have with our fans. um we're playing old demos and new demos and asking them their thoughts, and asking them about riffs and stuff, and I don't think any fan has been a part of that kind of music writing process with a band that they favor.
Yeah.
So to at this point in our career, at least for me, um, it's about creating new experiences, and creating new stories with our fans that live on. And I feel like one of the fans that goes to one of our VIPs is going to say something um, that's going to be such a great idea, and we're going to use the idea, and then they're going to hear the idea recorded like 6 months later, or freaking 8 months later, who knows?
Right.
But they're going to hear the riff, and they're going to go, oh, that's that song. That's that song from the VIP. Oh my God, they changed it the way we were talking about. I was part of that. I was actually the guy that gave them that idea. And then to be able to turn to their friend when they're listening to it, everywhere they go, they're going to go, yeah, that song, I kind of helped them out with that. Da, da, da. What a great story to have, one person walking around telling that story for the rest of their life. It's about creating that kind of connection and experience with life. So that's why we're doing that. And that's our goal with our music is to make these connections.
No, that's amazing, man. I mean, and with the enthusiasm that you say it with, I mean, it's like, you're not just like, yeah, well, it's gonna be this. You're genuinely excited about it.
Oh
And
yeah, because I'd want to say that. I'd want to live that experience. If I was hanging out with like freaking Chino from the Deftones, and he was playing me demos, and I was like, hey man, that would make a cool chorus, and it happened to not be a chorus, and then a year later I heard it as a chorus on one of his things, I'd freak the fuck out. That'd be so fucking cool. So why not at least create the environment where that might happen.
hell yeah, man, that's an awesome idea. I mean, and like I said, or like you said, I don't think anybody else has done that. I mean,
No.
there's a lot of meet and greets. There's, you go up to a table, you get an autograph signed, you talk for a second, and then it's on to the next person. And, as I wouldn't say like a fan, I would say as a lover of music, um, that means a lot to somebody, you know,
Yeah,
and I think
for
that,
sure.
and that's really cool that, you can have that sort of impact on somebody's life by just giving them, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever time you guys have together,
Yeah,
and
it's
allow.
about understanding that that's what you got.
Yeah.
So it's about making sure you show gratitude towards that, even in situations like this.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's so just to touch on some of your covers, you've done everything from Pantera, Jay-Z, Prince, loved When Doves Cry. That's what, like, I would say the only one that I would like to hear more would be Little Red Corvette. Because
That
Little Red
was on the
Corvette,
list. That was actually on the list too. It was either that one. It was that one, and it was that one, and there
when
was a couple, but that one was on there.
oh man, I love that song, and I'm like, man, that'd be awesome to hear somebody redo that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
over the years, man, you guys have toured with a lot of bands. So like, do any of them stand out as ones that you really enjoy playing with?
Yeah, we have a couple standouts. I know. Just recently we did a bunch of shows with Seether, and those are amazing. I
Mhm.
love those boys. Um, they were a lot of fun to hang out with and do shows with. Um, I think the tour that we're about to do is going to be fun. I don't think we're doing a lot of firsts on this whole run. I
Mhm.
think I don't think a tour has done this before, been fully immersive. Um, when people walk in, they're gonna be able to experience the show right away, even if they don't realize that they're experiencing, part of the show. Uh, but visually, and I feel like from the beginning of Sumo all the way to the end of us, the fact that the other bands are kind of like joining in on the fun and on the theme, um, as well as what the inside of the club is going to look like. I don't think somebody's done this before, so I'm interested to see uh, what happens after. The first couple of shows happen, and we pop up in the first couple cities and people are like, what the fuck is that? And they don't realize that that's how big we decided to go with this idea.
Well, I mean, I think honestly, it's going to turn out well, man. I mean, because like I said, you guys have one hell of a following,
Okay.
a hell of a fan base. And I mean, you're mixing in Wizard of Oz. Everybody knows Wizard of Oz. If you haven't heard
Let's see.
themes,
Yeah, yeah.
you live
We'll
under a rock.
we'll be showing them some stuff that I don't think they expected.
Hell yeah. So just what's the second leg? Is it going to be the same show? The
Yeah, we're gonna. This is kind of a test run, so we'll see how it goes. We'll probably add things to the next cycle, and keep hopefully making it bigger and better. We want people to be able to go that went to the first leg and possibly be able to head out to one of the other cities and catch one of the shows there to get a little bit of a different experience. There's plenty of room for play, so we're gonna play around.
have you guys played the King of Clubs here in Columbus?
Yes, we have.
That's a kick-ass venue.
Yes, we've played there.
Yeah, yeah, I've been to quite a few shows there. I know that it's a great place to see a show.
Yep.
I mean, the room is great and the acoustics are good. I mean,
The big room. Yeah, we did a I want to say St. Patrick's Day show there. It was a holiday show. I forget what the holiday was.
oh yeah, yeah, I do remember that because I was trying to get a hold of Shauna, I think it was, to see if we could set up a
Yeah.
live interview. Because
I
I
played a
mean,
lot of shows, so it's hard to remember what holiday it was, but it was I don't think it was New Year's. Might have been. No, it wasn't New Year's because I did Seven Dust New Year's Eve. Um yeah, it was a holiday just recently, but it was a good show. It was a really good show.
yeah, it's a nice venue. So, like, do you dabble in anything else, man? Like producing or any other type of angle to the music business?
Yeah, I'm actually I write on the side with a couple other producers. I also do features every once in a while. I'm actually now about to do a feature on a rap tune. A guy was a huge fan of the band and invited me in to do something. A a rapper actually out of Kalamazoo here, so it's going to be a fun second half of my career, I guess, with that stuff because I'm really starting to dive in more and more. Um, I definitely like to create. I love to create. Music writing is definitely my favorite thing to do out of everything, and I love to perform. I love to perform, but there's something about the songwriting process that it it hasn't lost its gas.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's another thing that I read, that you guys are celebrated for your signature sound and powerful lyrics, which often tackle social and political issues, and that you were cited as like one of the best live acts. So I mean, that's pretty impressive, man. Because I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that throw down, and for you guys to be called one of the best live acts, that's pretty awesome.
Well, we I think we take pride in that time on stage. I say it to my crew all the time. It's the most important hour of the day. So at least for me. So I want to make sure that I'm as prepared as I can be and as healthy as I can be. So that way I can keep getting comments like that.
Well, and I mean that's like the biggest part of the connection is, people will go to a show, they don't want to see somebody just standing on stage singing the song. They want that interaction. They want that, get the fuck up, let me see your hands, jumping around on the stage. And I mean, you know, it it's just one of the just great perks of live music, you know.
Well, they're definitely going to get that at a Nonpoint show. So if that's what you're looking for, get a ticket because you're going to get it.
Hell yeah, because I mean that's the energy, man, is what it's all about. I mean, you don't go to a show to just kind of like sit back and relax, man. I mean, you go to just, kind of forget the day and have a good time, and you're there to see, your favorite, bands, your favorite musicians, whatever, to, perform. And I mean, when you guys have a spot on performance and you're interacting with the crowd, it's like the biggest chemistry in the world, man. I mean,
Thank
and that's that love. It's like music. It's I think that I really couldn't imagine a world without it. That would be, I don't know. I guess if you never had it, you wouldn't know what you was missing. But
you. It'd be a sad world.
well, and how about like you say you love to create, you love to write. So when you're writing, do you, as it said that you go with political and social issues, but I mean, do you ever like write about, something, maybe a tragedy that happened in your life, or a tragedy that
Yeah,
happened with
I
friends?
think I think they I think that because of songs like Bullet and songs like Generation Idiot,
I love
uh,
it.
and The Truth, yeah, those have been uh, they could be politically spun, um, but I think I think the more than anything, I think our music is about the human journey.
Hmm.
Because songs like Alive and Kickin', if you really read the lyrics for Bullet, um, and songs like What a Day, it's it's stories of our lives. It's everybody's life.
Hmm.
Um, when I sit down to write, I am telling my story, but I'm telling my story because I know it's going to invoke an emotion. And I know that emotion is going to stir up and recall a memory of yours that then you are going to connect with that song.
Right.
And then from there, it's your story. So I'm just there to draw something out that's already there and to make you go, damn, I feel that. And I think that's that is the human journey is everyone is just trying to be understood and seen.
Hmm.
And that's it. So I write music about understanding and being seen.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean that emotional connection is, you know, is huge. It's you listen to some songs that are put out, and it's kind of like, what the hell is this about? And when you can sit down and listen to a song and, get the meaning pretty quickly, and like you said, it invokes feelings of your own. It's, you know that you've done your job. You know what I mean? When you can invoke that emotion from people, and it's not just music that does. I mean, it could be a piece of art on a wall. Well, it could be a scene in a movie. I mean, it's such a
It
great
takes it
feeling.
takes it takes a creator, and
Yes.
that's what you have to become in life. And that's why if you you know take up the Bible and you read the Bible, it says it right there. It's like I am you, you are me, I am inside of you. It's time to create. So you create your path. You have the will to do so, and when you do, you're gonna invoke emotion. So what kind of emotion are you trying to invoke?
Damn straight. I like that. So just one last question, man. when did you realize that this is what you wanted to do? I mean, like I said, you guys formed in '97, so
End of junior year in high school, I was in performing arts, and I was trying out for a show. I had never done it before. I had never tried out for a play or anything. It was a musical theater piece, and it's basically where I found out that I had a voice and the love for stage.
hell yeah.
So it was 1996.
Oh, so yeah, right before Nonpoint started then. So
Oh, my bad. No, 1992. My
okay.
1992.
Was you in any other bands before Nonpoint?
Nope, Nonpoint's my first band.
All right, man. That's a good long run. You don't hear that very often.
My dad said, if you're going to do something, do it right the first time.
There you go, brother. Well, hey man, I appreciate your time. I'll look for that second leg, see if you guys are coming through Columbus. Definitely come out and see you. If possible, we can maybe set up a live interview or whatever.
Absolutely.
But Elias, I really do appreciate you talking with me this evening. I'm not like a journalist or a reporter or anything. I'm just a guy that loves music and I love talking to music.
My favorite kind of guy.
So all right, buddy. Well, you enjoy your evening. And again, thank you so much. And we'll look forward to the Emerald City tour.
All right, brother. I'll see you there. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
Later.